Kevin Smith lied, a clownfish misled, Geek the Gamer Kid got angry, and I finally watched all 5 of the first half of the new Masters of the Universe. So let's talk about it. Welcome back, Sweat Hogs, to the Junk Room. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with another video. And what are we going to talk about today? Well, I finally watched all 5 episodes, the first half of season 1 of the Masters of the Universe Netflix Kevin Smith series. Now, this has been a lot of drama over the last few days since it dropped last Thursday. And as you can guess, all the major players that hate everything that comes out, guess what? They hate it. And you know they got some new things to call it. You know what they called it? Get ready for this. They call it woke. Haven't heard that used by an angry YouTuber since probably the last movie that came out. But is it woke? Is it the Teela show? Did Kevin Smith lie to everyone about the show? Did the Clownfish YouTube channel, did they mislead everyone? Or did they lie also? And how far are those pennies up the crack of Geek the Gamer Kid? Well, you're going to have to figure that one out on yourself. I'm going to give you the straight dope, as the kids say. I'm not going to tell you the show's woke. I'm not going to tell you it's a Teela show. We're just going to talk about my feelings from growing up on the original He-Man show to watching this new He-Man show. Now, a lot of people said this was a sequel to the old cartoon in the 80s. It's not. That old cartoon is owned by Universal. This is set in its own different world. Sure, it looks a lot like it, the same characters, but they can't reference to the old show. This isn't a sequel to the old show, and I do think Kevin Smith misled some there, because I believe he said it was a continuation of that old show. It's not really. You can tell they might have played around with it a little bit, but due to legal reasons, it's not a sequel to the original show. And this isn't He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This is a spin-off show. Well, at least that's the way I always saw it. A spin-off show. Masters of the Universe. Revelations. Now, what I like about the show so far is the concept of it. Because even as a kid, watching the old cartoon, they would do all these morals about how good it is to do this, how to do this. At the same time, He-Man, Men-at-Arms, Orko, Cringer, they're all lying to everybody about Adam and He-Man. Their best friends, Teela, one of their closest friend, their closest ally, they didn't let her in on the loop. The king and the queen, everybody was being lied to, which set a bad example as me as a kid is, hey, it's okay to lie about some things. I guess it is. So I always like the plan of, hey, what happens when Teela finds out, everyone finds out who Adam is, how they're going to deal with being lied to for all that time. I like that. And also something I really liked when I heard about it was, how does this world react with no He-Man? Kevin Smith never lied about that. We were told that before this show ever came out. That would kind of be how the people of this world would react without the hero. Now, sadly, this is spoiler alert. Let's get to it. Spoiler alert. This is going to be spoiler. He-Man, first episode, him and Skeletor die. You know right going into it, they're not dead. They're into another universe. And I'll get into all that. That's some things I don't like about the show. But we got He-Man, Skeletor, and of course Prince Adam, gone. Believed to be dead in this other realm, and they said they can't come back or something like that. And I like that. I like that intrigue. How are these normal people, heroes, strong people, but how they're going to fight? There's no fight for Castle Grayskull anymore. What's going to happen to all these villains? Well, their leader, they're going to break off into their own sections of evil. What's going to happen to all the heroes? I was really intrigued to that. But I have to admit, by the second episode already, I was feeling the weight of not having He-Man on this show. Teela walked around with her new friend. I don't even know her name. And I could never get into the Teela character. Now, is she woke? Besides her stupid, ugly haircut that did kind of distract from me watching the show, I can't say she's woke by any definition. She doesn't walk around pushing men out of the way. There's no scene where she says, I'll handle this, I'm a female. There's nothing like that in this show at all that I can find. Now, of course, you probably watch some of you Phantom Menace YouTuber, and they'll tell you it's all over the pages if you look for it. But I could never find nothing in this show. There was times where male heroes had to help Teela and her friend out. There was time where she had to help the males out. It seemed equal on that front. So I had no problem with that. Teela herself, I just couldn't get into this character. I like Teela on the original show, but this is far different than the Teela we had on the original show. Like I said, it's not linked together. But I couldn't really connect with this character. Maybe being it's only a 30-minute cartoon, it's hard to, give the time needed to really connect with this character. She seemed a little... I can understand why she was angry at her dad for lying to her. She seemed to overreact a little too much. And spoiler alert again, they hadn't bring this up on the show, but they keep hitting to it. In the original show, or the comics, maybe both, Teela's mom is a sorceress. So I'm sure that's going to come into play that, hey, they're still lying to her. No one's told her about that. Although they try and something always happens. But is this the Teela show? First episode, He-Man, Skeletor. He-Man's probably the main person. Episode 2 and 3, yeah, it leans heavily on Teela. She's trying to come to terms with this big lie and her life now and everyone's life. But it seems like by episode 4, there's only 5 of them, remember. By 4, this is an ensemble show. This isn't a Teela show. This is a bunch. In fact, I believe it's episode 4. There's like 3 little adventures going on. Each one has an important part of the story. It's not a Teela story. And then by 5, you have, spoiler, Prince Adam back, or I don't know if he's back or they're where he's at. I got very confused with the story, I'm not going to lie to you. But Prince Adam's back, or they're in wherever Prince Adam zapped to. And that's not a Teela episode. Sure, Teela's in it, but it's not a Teela heavy episode. But she is an important cast member. Let's talk about the guy Clownfish. Now, who is Clownfish if you don't know? I believe he's part of the Phantom Menace. From what I understand, he runs a YouTube channel. Him and I think he has a co-host. They used to do like Disney park reviews or something like that. But then they found out, hey, if I bitch about current movies, I can get a lot of views. And hey, power to you, because these people that bitch about the current movies, they get a lot more views than I do. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, and they're the ones doing something right. People love to watch stuff they hate. But anyway, this Clownfish guy tweeted out a while back that his inside sources, and I don't know who his inside sources are. When I hear people say that, 99% of the time I think, they made this up. So I'm not saying he made it up, but I think he made it up. Or either that or his sources or Doomcock. Well, he released what he thought was going to happen on the show. His inside sources, Kevin Smith, kind of came back and said that's not true. And now the show's out. The internet interrupts. Kevin Smith is a liar. But is he really a liar? Or maybe Clownfish is a liar. Maybe they're both are a liar. Or maybe they're both right from a certain point of view. Let me pull up the tweet by Clownfish that started everything. It's now deleted. Guess he wasn't so sure about his inside sources that he had to delete the tweet. But don't worry, nothing's ever deleted forever. Let me read what Clownfish Man said. My understanding of Kevin Smith's He-Man series from an alleged insider, Teela is a better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. If true, this won't play well.
That's just a rumor, bro.
That's it. That's what started all that right there. Let's break this down. First, Teela is a better He-Man than Adam. Teela never gets the power. She never becomes He-Man or He-Man. She never becomes stronger like He-Man. She never becomes more than her ability already is, that we already know Teela as. So no, that line right there, Teela is better He-Man than Adam, that's not true at all. They're not even nowhere near comparing. That's like saying, I don't know what it's like saying, but they're not even on the same level. And he steps aside to let her take over hero duties. He-Man doesn't take over. He-Man gives his life to free, gives his life to protect everybody. I'm still confused about the storyline. But he gives his life and everything. And then Teela, she's off on her own. He doesn't step aside and say, here, Teela, now you must be the power of grace. No, that's not what happens at all. So and it says, let me go back to his tweet here, that Teela has a girlfriend. I'm guessing he means the young lady she hangs out with. There's no hint at all. Unless he just means girlfriend. He should have put a space between girl and friend. If he meant lesbian, then there's no hint to that I could find. Maybe you guys can find it. They don't hold hands. They don't wink at each other. They don't scissor. No, I don't see anything where these two are a romantic couple at all. In fact, it seems more like the other girl had kind of a crush on Roboto. So, that's something else there. So, Clownfish, inside sources himself, I believe, Can't prove it. I believe that, or maybe he's talked to Doomcock's source. Everything he said in that tweet is wrong. Everything in that tweet is wrong, yet Kevin Smith is being branded the liar. Don't make any sense to me. Now, again, maybe Kevin Smith says something else here, and he did lie. I'm not saying that. And he also was a pitchman for the show. And as a guy that's been a salesman for over 30 years, sometimes you do have to stretch the truth and mislead stuff. And who hasn't lied, right? Let's see what Kevin's reply to Clownfish was. As showrunner, I could have used those story suggestions before we locked the script. However, no, He-Man does not step aside, and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe.
Bruh, Kevin Smith lied, bruh.
Now again, this is the one I was told that he lied. He might have said more since then, so I don't know. But this is the one I'm going off of. Is this tweet a lie? Now, he didn't delete this one like Clownfish deleted his, but let's see. He's a showrunner. That's not a lie. He was a showrunner. He could have used those suggestions. I don't think he really used them, so maybe he lied about that. Let's see. He-Man does not step aside. He doesn't. Watch the show. He doesn't step aside. Teela has no girlfriend on our show. She doesn't have a girlfriend on the show. Doesn't even have a boyfriend. The storyline is pretty dark. It is pretty dark and way metal. I don't even know what that means. And before Revelations, he called it End of the Universe. Now, I believe there is another tweet where he talks about Teela being being part of the. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll put a pause right here. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I just want to pull this one up too. This is one, the Green Rant, and I think it's related to the Clownfish guy also. Let me read it. With all due respect to Screen Rant, I've read every script of our show, plus wrote a few. While Teela is a present, as she's always been in the Masters of the Universe adventures, and she plays a big role, our series is literally all about He-Man.
Kevin Smith lied, bro.
Okay, maybe that was kind of, it's about He-Man, but he didn't say it he was in it in every episode. He said it was about He-Man, and in a way it is technical, but that might be technical there. You might be able to screw it some way and say that was a lie. But again, you have to remember, this is written as a one-season show. Netflix broke it up into 2 parts. 5 episodes now, and 5, I believe, in October. So to say what the story is really about, we can't really say yet. Now, Kevin has talked about episode 6, I think, or 7 next season, coming up in October. Season or part, whatever we want to call it, where there's going to be a huge battle. From what he said, a huge, gruesome battle between He-Man and Skeletor. Sounds exciting. But let's go back to what this tweet said. She plays a big role. He didn't lie about that. She does play a big role. A lot of the other characters do. So, if you ask me, Clownfish lied. I see more of a lie said by Clownfish than I do Kevin Smith. But let me know what you think. Now, let's get back to the show. Overall, did I love this show? Honestly, I didn't love it. Did I hate it? I didn't hate it. I felt it was blah. I felt it was okay. It felt like I need to see it again. I think once it all comes out, I'll rewatch it all at once. Because honestly, a lot of times I found myself drifting off where I would just start looking at my phone or something where I couldn't really get into the show, and that might be my fault right there. There was a lot of stuff. I love the nostalgia factor to it. If you had He-Man toys growing up, even if you didn't have a lot of them, you just had some of them, you're going to be like, man, I had that. Land Shark. And then all your favorites you grew up in, Moss Man, Orko, the robot guy. Man, they made Merman cool as shit. I don't know how they did it. Beastman, everyone is in this. Well, except He-Man and Skeletor, of course. Yet, anyway. But overall, the story just seemed like it was just so much about this other world, magic and everything. I just couldn't. I'm used to the old show, I guess, where it was just simple, 30 minutes out, you didn't have to think about it again. This one seemed a little go over my head. But overall, and I did feel the weight of missing He-Man. Like I said about the second episode, I was like, why am I watching this? He-Man. I want to see He-Man. I didn't really like Prince Adam at all. Can we talk about that? The Prince Adam, the drawing, the voice, everything about the Prince Adam character, it bugged me. I was like, I don't like this guy. And I should really like, Adam was really lazy on the old show. Again, this isn't a sequel to the old show, but, I've come to accustom. That's what I expect. And I don't know. I like that he looks different than He-Man. So, on the old cartoon, he looks just like He-Man and nobody knew anything. Let me go back real quick. Talking about whoever wrote this show grew up on these toys, I guess, or knows the history of the toys. Because you know what's in this show? Wonder Bread He-Man, the rare figure that was rumored, people didn't even think it was a real figure for years, but it's come out now that it is. Wonder Bread He-Man is in this show. I couldn't believe it. And I like when they go back and they show some of the older He-Man that was before He-Man. I love that. There's a lot about this show I really did like. But again, overall, story-wise, I just couldn't get excited about it. I did feel the weight of missing He-Man. But I'm hoping 6 through 9, he comes back. They bring him back somehow. I'm not sure. Adam dies again in this one, in the number 5. So I'm not sure. But let's say a scale 1 to 10, with 10 being, oh my God, this is amazing. 1 being that this is woke crap. I'm going to say my rank is probably around a 6. It's enjoyable. I think a lot of you that like animation, that really is a bigger fan of He-Man than I was, I think if you give it a chance, go into it looking at this as not He-Man and the Master Universe. This is He-Man Revelations. This is a sequel or a spin-off show. This isn't the He-Man show. This is a spin-off show. It's got He-Man in it, but it's got other characters. I think if you clear your mind, you look at this show for what it is and not what you want it to be, I think you will. I think as a He-Man fan, you will enjoy it. Like I said, I can't think of anything that was like cringy or felt like female agenda being forced upon us. Nothing seemed woke. She wouldn't push him in out of the way. She was like, don't hold my hand. Nothing like that I can recall. Maybe you can. But overall, I think if you go into it again, seeing this as a show that's more of a spin-off of what you've known from He-Man, you go in for the fun of it. You go into it just to have fun. You don't take it too seriously. I think you will enjoy it if you're a He-Man fan. If you're coming into it as not a He-Man fan, I don't think it's going to work. It's going to connect with you as well. It might. Everybody's different, but, there's a lot of, oh man, I can't believe that. Oh, that's in it. That's in it. Look at that. Oh my God, Eternity. Oh my God. There's a lot of that in it that I really love. With some people, fan service, they might call it. Some people talk bad about it. Ooh, fans are. I'm a fan. Service me all day. But overall, I give this about a 6 from a 1 to 10. So I don't hate it. I didn't love it, but it's okay. It's worth a watching. And again, this is only half. A lot of people are judging this show on half. It'd be like I went to see Rogue One, walked out of the middle of it before the end battle and before Vader showed up, and said that movie sucks. As you know, I'm not the biggest Rogue One fan, and that's because to me the first half wasn't that exciting as the last half. And that's about how this is starting to shape up for me. The first half is okay. I'm hoping the second half makes me understand the first half better, and as a whole, I'll like it more. But I'm willing to give it a shot. This isn't woke. This isn't the Teela show. This isn't, I don't know, this isn't whatever Geek the Gamer Kid is crying about this week. I mean, it's like there's a group of people before this even hit Netflix that you knew were going to make angry videos about it. I'm sure they're already hating Indiana Jones 5. Be honest, it would be hard to live around these people. They are always angry and upset at everything that gets released. And this comes from a guy that don't like most stuff. I don't go see the Marvel movies because I don't like it. I don't get angry at it. I didn't like The Rise of Skywalker. I don't see him scream and cry about it. But I guess I don't get triggered like some of the young kids, like Geek that Gamer Kid. But what was I going to say? I think I said everything we can say about it. Let me know what you think about Masters of the Universe Revelations. Was it woke garbage? Do you think it was okay? Or do you think it was epic? Let me know that and more in the comments below. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.
The video's over, bro.